Good morning, everyone. It's me down here at the laundromat. I hope you can hear me. See if I can show you. Do you remember I used to take you for a walk down there? That building where they used to have kids softball training? Well, that business went out and something else is going in. And so they're doing a lot of drilling and whatnot. I didn't realize it was going to be that loud. But I'm out here in the beautiful warm sun. I'm actually doing a friend's laundry that can't get out and offered to pay me if I'd go pick it up and do it. So I'm doing it, able to make a few extra dollars, which will help out. And enjoying this sun. I'll tell you what. It's going to get up to 89 today. Our nights and mornings have been real cool, and I like that. I like a cool morning when there's dew on the ground, and I like a cool night and a warm day. And let's see, what can I tell? I can tell you this morning it was what is the word? It was pretty hectic in the chicken coop. I went out this morning early like I do to bring fresh water and open up the coop, and the first one out always is Silky Big Daddy. He is just at that chicken door waiting to get out. So I open up that door and he jumps out. And then I go in the human door and take out the water that's been in there all night and put in the fresh water. And last night was the second night that Mama Silky and her babies slept on the floor of the chicken coop. I been getting them out of that nesting box and letting them sleep down there. And so this morning when I went in, she had her babies. They're really not hers, they're the Easter egger hens, but Mama Silky hatched them and she's been raising them. And she had them all by her, and the Silky Daddy, he went out, but he was right by that chicken door. And as soon as my Easter egger hen jumped off the perch to go down on the floor to go outside, he chased her back in, and well, he wanted to have his way with her, is the best way I can put it. And that set off Abner. Abner does not like to see that going on, and he started crowing, and I was bending down to put down the fresh water, and I had the Big Daddy chasing the Easter egger hen. All this is going on inside the coop. I'm trying not to step on the babies. That upset them, all that running around, and Abner was crowing his head off, and then Abner flew off where he was perched from and landed on my back, which I did not expect. And then he flew off me, and then Big Daddy ran outside, and Abner went chasing him. Then the Easter egger went outside, and then that riled up all the other ladies, and I was having a time not to step on any of the babies or anyone, actually. It was pretty hectic in there. I was glad to get out of that chicken coop. And I got out, and then I got their food down, and when I went to change Miss Kitty's water, I was looking in that chicken yard, and I saw Mama Silky was outside of the coop. And so I went back into the chicken yard to see why she was outside of the coop. And she was outside, and she had the 3 babies out there. And she was, again, teaching them how to scratch around. And that's what she was doing with them. And she will keep them close to her. There's no way that I can keep them inside the coop. She has to get out, and they follow her. And this is just nature. Oh, that sun feels so good. Yesterday, I was in a lot of pain. Most of you that have been following me know that. I guess it's been a couple years now. I really forget. I'd have to go back and look it all up. But I had my left shoulder. It was a total reverse shoulder reconstruction. It was way beyond just the replacement. They had to reconstruct that whole left shoulder because of the spinal cord disease had deteriorated the... Can you believe it? Let's see if that truck's gonna pull away. Yep. The syringomyelia had deteriorated the cartilage. There was no cartilage, and there hadn't been any cartilage in that shoulder for years. And finally the bones deteriorated, so it was beyond just a replacement. They had to reconstruct the whole shoulder. And I think it was 5 months after I had that first surgery done, the hardware started to come apart, so they had to go back in and do it all over again. Anyway, as you know, the Lord has been healing it, and but let's see, today is Friday. Wednesday, I tried to do some yard work, sweeping up some leaves and for the chickens, and passing my rake in the chicken yard to try to rake up some dirt or soil so that they could be looking through for bugs. I was just doing quite a bit outside, and then I went in my lean-to and was looking for something, and then I tried to do some more organizing in my added-on room. And well, make a long story short, Wednesday I really overdid it, and yesterday that left shoulder and arm was screaming. It had swelled up, as big as a kid's leg, I would say. I couldn't get that swelling down, and I was just in a mess. So yesterday I didn't do any more than I had to do, which was tend to the animals and just what I really had to do. I had already cooked the day before a crock pot of homemade chili, so I had that to eat yesterday. But I didn't get any crocheting done. I didn't get much cleaning done. No organizing done. I was just trying to be still with an ice pack and just wait on the Lord for some relief. That shoulder has all that hardware in it, and there's a lot of cracking noise, which my orthopedic surgeon said would be, just forever. And if it gets to be, so too annoying for me, or if I have a whole lot more difficulty with that shoulder and arm, he will go back in there and just remove all that hardware. And I said, well, you remove the hardware, if you do, and there's no bones left in that shoulder or the upper arm, what's going to hold my arm together? And he said that I have good tendons. But I said, God created us with bones. We're supposed to have bones, and if we can't have bones, then God's given the doctors wisdom and technology to come up with this hardware that's supposed to help us. And he said the decision would be up to me, and I don't feel like to have another surgery, have him go in there and remove that hardware. I mean, 90% of the time I manage. It's just I have to remember I am limited. Sometimes it's hard to remember that when you got things to do that have to get done, but could be so much worse. And as you know, I guess it was last year that my bone above my elbow, it just broke off during the night, and then there was nothing they could do for it. I wasn't even in a a soft cast or in a sling when that bone broke off. They said there's nothing that they could do. It's part of the Charcot, CHARCOT condition that comes with syringomyelia. It makes your bones brittle and all that. And I told him, well, if God can't fix it, nobody can. And as you know, I was going every 2 months down to Frisco to the orthopedic doctor for x-rays, and every time I'd go, he'd be so shocked. You got new bone growing. You got new bone growing. I said, God's growing me new bone. God's going to fix it. And the last time that I went, that broken bone, God healed it, grew all new bone. And the Lord attached that bone to the rest of the hardware there. So, I mean, there's just no telling what God can do. That's an old chorus. What he's done for others, he'll do for you. So I'm going to go back in there and check on that wash. And not sure what I'm going to do today. Jamie from Jamie's Hooked, who lives in Garland, 12 miles from me. Garland's library is having a book sale today. It's in South Garland. And she's planning to go. And I would like to go, but I'm going to have to see. I asked her this morning in her live what time she's planning to go. She's planning to go after 12 noon, and so I'm supposed to get back with her and let her know if... I'm sorry about all this traffic. I'm going to go because you can't hear me. I'm sorry about that.